The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
But it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Hello. And fuck the University of Michigan. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Green, baby.
Go white.
I can't believe anybody ever doubted the boys. How could they ever? This was the biggest lock of the entire world. Waking up at 4:45 in the morning paid off, even though my throat still hurts 4 days later.
It's been a painful week, but it's been well worth it.
I just show up to work the next day with like half of a voice. It was not good.
I feel like I've been nursing a hangover for like 5 days, and I can't tell if I'm getting sick or if this is the worst hangover of my entire life. Can't tell.
It's definitely a combination of all of them.
It definitely is. And then jumping in the Red Cedar after state winning also didn't help either.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I got some hypothermia going.
You got a new disease from that one.
Dude, it's worked 2 years in a row. It's the best thing I've ever committed to is jumping in the Cedar state wins, and I plan on making the exact same bet next year.
Okay.
So you're ready to make a yearly trip back to?
I mean, if they lose, I'm not going to do it. And then I'll be like, oh, it doesn't work anymore. And then I'll just stop. But if state somehow rattles off for the rest of my life, a win every year over Michigan that I bet to jump in the Red Cedar, I'll continue doing it. Or a body of water of equal or greater value.
Nothing will be as great as
Ridden River.
Dude, when I jumped in that river, it like drops off immediately. And I jumped in and I could feel like 4 or 5 bird scooters on the ground as I'm trying to crawl my way out of the water. It was so gross.
Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
But besides that, great weekend. Absolutely loved it.
Awesome weekend.
It couldn't have gone any better, I tell you what.
Yeah. Spent a lot of money, but made it all back on MSU. So it didn't really matter. I ended up making money on the weekend, even though my 7 a.m. I can't believe they let us in the bar at 7 a.m. That seems irresponsible, but they did.
That definitely was. I'll take it.
Yeah. My $75 tab was pretty expensive at the Riv, but that's light change to a G.
Yeah.
It was worth it. I mean, when you're there for 7 hours, spending $70 doesn't really seem that bad. So
yeah, exactly.
And when you could buy, dude, they were selling French fries for $2. It was a steal. Still awesome time. Should we actually talk about the game? So Kenneth Walker for Heisman. I guess that Michigan run defense and that front four, Aiden Hutchinson, he's a real run stopper, eh?
Yeah, he's a real brick wall, especially in those second halves.
Good God, Kenneth Walker he's insane, dude.
Papi Chulo.
It makes no sense. The dude is insane.
I mean, their run defense could very well be very good, but Kenneth Walker is just that good. I mean, they had him swallowed up on like 2 of those touchdown plays. It feels like anybody else would have gone down, and then all of a sudden he's bouncing outside and going for 50. It's wild.
That Gus Johnson call when he had his 5th touchdown to make it 37-33, and he goes, Kenneth Walker, welcome to New York.
Yeah,
and I was like, great.
Chills. It was so good.
I heard it the first time, and it didn't really reconcile with me until I watched the game a second time, because I've already watched the game 3 times. But yeah, it was an awesome
good call.
Gus Johnson, whenever he's on the call for an MSU game, it always pays off. Like the Rose Bowl game a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the Big Ten championship game for the Rose Bowl a few years ago. Still, it was awesome. But
he makes calls that make the moment like that much like better. You know what I mean? He makes like great moments, special moments. You know what I mean? He takes
the cherry on top right there that makes the spine go
100%.
Okay, let's hit some Michigan stuff. We don't have any Michigan people here, but hand up. I was wrong about a couple of things about the University of Michigan. One, Cade McNamara actually looked awesome, and Jim Harbaugh really fucked it up by putting in JJ McCarthy, who had a couple of bad fumbles, and it was obviously not a pass interference, which a lot of Michigan people have been crying about over this last week on Charles Brantling, which was a stupid thing. But I do feel bad for McNamara because I feel like if you just let him in and left him play the entire game, they'd probably win.
Yeah.
It's probably still close, but they probably win the game. The switching back and forth, like, really fucked him in this game. I've never been a fan of switching quarterbacks like that. And in the biggest game of the year, Harbaugh always finds a way.
He finds a way to fumble it, like literally and figuratively. I don't know. Why would your starting quarterback is
he was playing, not like he was playing bad. He was playing so good.
He was playing great. It might have been the best he's looked all season.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
it makes me scared for the Michigan State secondary, who's going against a Purdue team who loves to pass the ball on all 3 downs. So
yeah,
a little nervous.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
You need the pass rush to be elite.
Well, the Michigan offensive line did look really good. Their running backs, not as much. State's just really good at run stop. They're not good at pass rush. So if you're running the ball against State, they're very good. But if you're dropping back and throwing, we get 0 pressure. And then our corners suck. Our safeties are good, but our corners suck. And they just get picked on the outside if it's ever one-on-one.
Yeah, those curl routes. Oh, who was it? Is it Kimbrough who just gives up curl route after curl route?
Yeah. I mean, that's their bend, don't break defense. It worked. They settled for field goals. They didn't get touchdowns. I mean, it's a stressful way to play football, but it ended up working out in the long run. One more positive thing I'll say about Michigan, Anthony Andrell Jr., who went to East Lansing High School and is a trader and went to the University of Michigan. You might be good. You're welcome. I won't say another good thing about you because you left Michigan State when it was right there. I guess his dad was a big Michigan fan growing up, whatever, don't care. Went to East Lansing High School, betrayed us, went to University of Michigan. You might be a good football player, but I hate you.
Yeah, you might be solid, but fuck you. At the end of the day.
All right, let's move on. Before we talked about State a lot. Let's keep going with Michigan. Michigan, I believe, at home. Indiana, what is it, 20 points, Clayton? Is that what you said?
Yep.
20 points, dropping Indiana. Indiana, a team that I don't think is that bad. They've looked really good against all the teams they played, except for Ohio State. They're competitive with Cincinnati, competitive with Michigan State. I believe they're competitive with Penn State as well. I think those are all their losses. And then Ohio State as well. So they're playing Michigan, who just had a real letdown spot against MSU. I'm real nervous about all these points, but I don't know what the game's over is, but sign me up for the game's over.
Be one hell of a revenge game for Michigan after that loss. They're gonna come out all pissed off.
Dude, I don't know.
Or do you think they come out and they're just like, well, fuck us, our season over kind of thing?
I think Indiana's kind of a sleeper team like Nebraska is, where they're just gonna play everybody close, unless it's like an Ohio State, an elite program. I think they play everybody close, which is why 20 points just feels like a lot.
I do think it's
and like Michigan, you could say revenge game, but they feel like, going off what I've seen on social media, like they've
been doing a lot of crying and complaining this week. Not a whole lot of looking to their next game. They've been dwelling on this one quite a lot.
They seem like they're not entirely focused. And I think it starts with Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh's starting to get on the hot seat a little bit.
I want him to get a 10-year extension. Yeah,
that'd be beautiful. But I think he's feeling the administration maybe breathing on his neck a little bit. So I kind of like Indiana.
Matt, any feels about this game? I'm pretty sure Indiana's on still their second string quarterback, no Penix Jr. Their defense is pretty decent, as we've seen against Michigan State, have awesome linebackers, and they throw the ball pretty decently. So I don't know. Michigan's red zone defense, atrocious. So I think that's where they can actually capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think Michigan will obviously come out with the win, but I mean, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
All right. A lot of points. I'll take the over, and then you guys are both going to take Indiana in the points.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on. Michigan State playing at Purdue, 3:30, West Lafayette. Like I said, I think I saw a statistic that Purdue is 8th in the country in passing, and then 130th out of 133 teams in rushing. So they're one of the worst rushing teams. I think they throw the ball on 75% of their plays, which is also top 5 in the country. And then their defense is very bad. So does anyone smell a shootout? Because I
I
don't want one of those, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's terrifying.
smell them picking on our secondary and then Kenneth Walker just coming out and running all over them.
Come on, Knicks, you fuckers.
So obviously as a Spartan, gonna ride with my boys, but
Have to.
I love the over. Love the over. I forgot what the line was, but I think it goes into a shootout.
Yeah.
Dogs all the way. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be obviously they're picking apart our corners, and we're going to have to rely heavily on our boy Kenneth Walker to pop off for another couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can get our wide receivers more in this game.
Yeah.
Their defense really isn't that good.
Has anybody seen anything about Jalen Naylor this week? Because a lot of people were speculating could have broke his wrist, but I haven't seen anything saying that he's not going to play. Yeah.
I feel like I would have seen updates on it on Twitter or something.
I haven't seen anything about him saying like he's practicing or anything, but I also haven't seen anything that he's out.
That would be a blow.
Would be a blow, but we do have a pretty deep receiving core, so I'd feel okay about it. But Naylor is a pretty important part of this team. He has a couple big plays against Michigan, so hopefully he can come back. I'm going to take MSU minus 3.5, whatever it is. I've been taking them spread all year, and it's hardly failed me, I think, except
maybe the Nebraska game.
Nebraska. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So I think they're 7-1 against the spread. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think Mel Tucker in his press conference, the game's scary. He was saying stuff about Purdue being, I think it's like they've won the most games against top 10 opponents as unranked, as an unranked team, and the most games against top 5 opponents as an unranked team. They just love playing
big games.
They get up for big games, yeah.
Yeah. It's scary for sure.
I think Mel's going to have the team, their mindset in just the right place.
Yeah.
They went and finished the Michigan game. They're going to be super hyped up. And I don't know. I think with as good of a coach as he is, he's going to be.
Yeah. I don't want him to be like telling the boys, like, hey, listen, you're gods. But we got to like look at the next game. I want him to be like, we got to look at the next game like they're gods. And we need to, you know what I mean? Prepare.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I like that mindset more.
Okay. Let's move on to our last thing of college football, the lock segment. I'll take mine. The underrated Wake Forest 8-0. They are underdogs on the road to a 4-4 North Carolina team. I don't 100% understand this. I know they have Sam Howell. I just like Wake Forest plus 2.5 and money line. Give it to me both ways.
Okay. Who was I? Oh, so my lock was Indiana. Then I forgot that we were doing the Michigan segment. So I'm going to go Ole Miss, Matt Corral, minus 9.5 against Liberty. I feel like
Matt Corral versus Malik Willis. That could be a matchup of 2 top 5 quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah. Could be a good game.
Yeah.
I like Ole Miss. I feel like, especially after these college football playoff rankings come out, I feel like they're one of the teams that might think that they have something to prove coming into the back end of the season. So I think they come out, Matt Corral. I don't like it, but I think he strengthens his Heisman profile, candidacy, whatever you want to say, this weekend for sure.
Matt?
All right, I'm taking Oklahoma State minus 3.5 against West Virginia. My streak of this looks good enough is, what is it, like 2 or 3-0 so far?
You are 3-1-1.
Wow.
We're doing pretty good with it looks good enough for me. And I tell you what, this one looks good enough for me.
Just go with your gut, baby.
So,
and they just got their postseason ban upheld. So the basketball program.
Oh, they're going to be excited for that one. Community-wide.
Real excited. Clay, what was yours again? Why am I forgetting?
Ole Miss minus 9.5.
Okay. Ole Miss minus 9.5. All right. That will wrap up our college football segment. I'm sure you hear more about us talk about Michigan State next week if they win or lose. Hopefully they win. They could pull this one out in West Lafayette. All right. let's move on to a quick NBA segment. We're going to spend a couple of minutes talking about the first 2 weeks of the season. We're 2 weeks in. I asked the guys to come up with one thing that they've been impressed with this year so far and one thing they've been disappointed with. So Matt, let's start with you. What's one thing that you've been impressed with so far this NBA season?
So one thing that I've been impressed with, which I think people kind of saw it coming, but maybe not to the extent that it has been so far, has been LaMelo Ball and the Hornets with like Miles Bridges and everything all involved, but mainly LaMelo. I mean, the dude's been absolutely insane so far this year. He's had like, what was the stat? Like,
he's had more 30-point games this year than he did all of last season.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The dude has just stepped it up like way above where I think a lot of people thought he was going to end up being. And then obviously our boy Miles Bridges, rest of the Hornets, they've been playing super good so far. They're one of the most fun teams in my opinion to watch. So
I'm really looking forward to watching them against the Warriors at 10 o'clock later.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. I'm going to tail off Matt because mine also has to do with Hornets. My thing that I'm surprised by and that I like is Miles Bridges. It looks like he really took this offseason seriously. Looks like he worked on a lot of aspects of his game. Obviously, is he their leading scorer right now? I think he might be.
He is.
Okay.
23 points per game.
Yeah. He's scoring a lot more than he usually did. I mean, last year he was just kind of like almost like a Russell Westbrook, just can blow by you, more athletic, will get to the rim whenever he wants. But now it kind of looks like he's been working on his shot a little bit. He stepped it up on defense too. I like his improvement. I think he's going places. Yeah,
he's definitely going to earn more money than they offered him. They offered him during this offseason a 4-year, $60 million extension. Guy bought in on himself and definitely is going to earn a lot more than that.
Yeah.
He should deserves it.
Yeah, definitely deserves it.
Is he Rich with Rich Paul?
Rich Paul.
Yeah.
Yep. He's with Clutch. Rich Paul.
Makes sense.
All right. The thing that I'm going to go with that impresses me the most, I would say Miami Heat, but I expected them to be good. The the Chicago Bulls expected them to be good. Not this good, but expected them to be good. And then the Knicks also, they've been pretty good to start this season. But a team who I swore was probably going to be bottom 5 in the Eastern Conference, who's been really impressed me, is the Washington Wizards. They are 5-2 as it sits right now, 1 game back out of first place. This team just has so much depth. I don't know where it comes from. Bradley Beal's not even playing that good. Kyle Kuzma's been playing well. Montrezl Harrell's been playing well. Spencer Dinwiddie's been playing well. It's just they have like 10 guys who would be like your 4th or 5th best player on a team, and they're all clicking at the same time. Like they're playing super well. They have Harrell, they have Gafford, they have Denny Adia, they have Rui Hachimura. They just like all their guys are clicking at the same time. And they're not shooting particularly well, but this team is just working. And Wes Unseld Jr. Is doing a great job as head coach. And yeah, I think the Wizards, I've been updating my power rankings. Check out my YouTube videos that I did on the Eastern and Western Conference. Put in a lot of work on those. But I had the Hornets all the way up, I believe, from my 12th team in the Eastern Conference to now my 7th team. So they went up 5 spots. So Wizards, really good job. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of got a bunch of pieces and they put them all together and then it's looking like the whole thing.
I mean, it's a puzzle that you look at the beginning and you don't see how it's going to fit.
Yeah.
And somehow they've put all these pieces together to make like a masterpiece. They've done a very good job so far this year. They've really, really impressed me.
It's like the difference between having a team with like 2 stars, 2 all-stars, just surrounded by shitters, you know, and then like a team filled with just above average players that fit and play their positions well and they do their job. I don't know. It's somehow they found a way to make it work. I love it.
It's definitely working. All right. Clayton, what is one thing you've been disappointed by so far this season?
The Boston Celtics.
Oof. Ugly.
Bad. They are
locker room's not good either.
Locker rooms in shambles.
Disgusting.
Was it Marcus Smart making comments about their 2 all-stars, like
not passing the ball?
Yeah, teams falling apart.
How is somebody going to guard me when I get the ball like 6 games and just sit in the corner, or 6 times a game and just sit in the corner? Basically was his comment.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't look good.
No.
it's I don't even know what to tell him because I have no advice because they should be on paper looking at the roster.
They should be at least a mid-tier Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they should be a
Easily.
5-6 seed coming out of the East, and they're looking like they might not even make it to the playoffs. So
no, one thing that I've really been looking at when I was doing the video of the power rankings, I was looking at the stats and everything. Jason Tatum has not been shooting the ball very well early in the season. And they are led by Jalen Brown, averaging 27 points a game. And then Jason Tatum, who's averaging 10 point or like 25, 23 points a game. And then no one else on their entire team has more than 10 points per game. So they're definitely very top heavy. They have nice rotational players, but they just don't shoot the ball. It's like their coach just wants those two guys always shooting, and that's not a recipe to a successful basketball team.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Matt, what's something that you've been disappointed in so far this season?
So mine is going to be Milwaukee Bucks. I know they just laid the hammer down on the Pistons last night.
As they should.
Everybody should. But, I mean, they're coming out right now. Are they like 4-4? Something right there. Like, they're kind of middle of the pack right now. Coming off a championship year. Like, I don't know how that they haven't won more games. I don't really know what's going on there. But I feel like they should have been doing a lot better than they currently have been.
I'll give the Bucks a little bit of a pass just because they are struggling with the injury bug very badly right now. Dante DiVincenzo still hasn't come back after his ankle or foot injury since last playoffs. Bobby Portis just came back, who's a good rotational player for them. And then also Drew Holiday is out and Chris Middleton is in a 10-day COVID protocol currently. So they're really hurt right now. I'm sure they'll still end up being a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, but it's a team that just went through a long postseason, and you're going to make Giannis play all these minutes right now to try to keep your team afloat at that 500 range. And I think it's going to hurt them in the long run. We saw teams like the Lakers last year, and then also like the Miami Heat really fizzle out in the playoffs last year. Sure, they had a really, really short offseason, but even this offseason was still a little bit shorter than normal. And I just hope that it doesn't fizzle out. Giannis has looked amazing. His shooting has looked really, really good for some reason, like out of fucking nowhere. If Giannis adds a 3-pointer shot and like a pull-up jumper, I would start to debate he's like one of the top 5 best players of all time.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're there yet. It's looked really good to start the season. We'll see how it continues.
Nail that down though.
But he looks real good. He looks awesome.
He's got a mid-range, a decently consistent mid-range now. It's not all just
pulled up and free a couple times.
Yeah,
he's like in rhythm, like catching and shooting.
Yeah.
I love it. It's actually kind of incredible now that I think about all their injuries and stuff that Giannis basically has been able to carry them alone to 4-4.
Yeah. That's
pretty incredible.
That's basically what
all
Giannis
these injuries right now. Then they can just have those players come back in like a month or so or whenever they do, and then they'll be more fresh for later on. And Giannis can
rest Giannis a little bit more
now. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the thing that I'm been the most disappointed in. And I started my power rankings off with saying the 3 worst teams in the Western Conference should be the Thunder, the Spurs, and Houston. Do you know who the worst team in the Western Conference is, guys, right now?
Lakers.
No, they're 5-3.
I'm kidding.
Who has the worst record in the Western Conference and in the entire NBA, even below the Pistons?
Is it the Kings?
It's not the Kings. They've actually been sneaky decent. It is the New Orleans Pelicans at 1-7.
Oh,
they've been
How
atrocious.
did I forget about the Pelicans?
Atrocious. Brandon Ingram's been awful. Zion looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy. He looks huge. Like, I feel bad because I don't want to shame somebody for having weight struggle and weight issues, but the dude, when he's not playing and constantly having to be held accountable for being in shape, he balloons up fast. Like, this guy doesn't have a personal chef that just cooks every single meal for him. How is that not like a thing?
I mean, they'd probably spend millions of dollars on just his fitness alone every year, and somehow it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they drafted Trey Murphy in the draft, who I was super high on. They hardly play him any minutes. They've been giving the minutes to Herb Jones from Alabama, who's good on defense, but basically has zero offensive skill. Devontae Graham's been their starting point guard. He sucked. They're hardly giving any runs to their backup point guard, the Alabama kid, Kyra Lewis. He's hardly getting any time. And then Nikhil Alexander Walker, who I like, shoots like 15 shots a game and makes like 4.
Yeah.
Like the team is terribly inefficient. Like I would argue that currently their best player is Jonas Valanciunas because he's actually been playing well this year.
Probably. Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
No, just really disappointed in the Pelicans. I held David Griffin, who used to be the GM of the Cavaliers and put those Cavalier championship team together, held him at a very high regard. Thank God they have so many draft picks to try to make this work, because Zion's gonna be very close to being exactly like Anthony Davis and forcing his way out of this Pelicans organization. Even though if I'm a team, I probably wouldn't touch Zion right now unless it was like 75 cents on the dollar.
No, yeah, I would not touch Zion. I don't know. It seems like he's hard to keep in shape
or healthy. He can't even stay healthy. Not like he's like a Charles Barkley out there where he's a little chubby, but he's at least he's playing every single game. Like he doesn't even play.
Yeah. At least Anthony Davis was putting up serious numbers when he was trying to force his way out. So I don't know.
Hopefully you can get that stuff under wraps and start getting somehow healthy and a little bit better into shape.
Because he's a freak when he's healthy, and he's been playing for a while and in shape. Yeah, he just bullies everybody. But man.
Yeah. Come on, Zion.
Gotta be something going on there. But
I called him being a bust. He might be a bust.
Might be a bust. Definitely would. If we had to redo the draft, everyone's taking John Morant number 1, right?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Zion
without hesitation. I would without even a second thought, I'd take John Morant 100 times out of 100.
Oh yeah.
Dude's been ridiculous.
I mean, I might even have, if we were to do like a redo a mock draft, I might even drop Zion to like 5th.
I'd have to see who else was in that draft class.
Yeah.
I would this is a super far stretch. I think I'd still have Zion ahead of RJ Barrett, but it's getting a lot closer than I thought.
Pretty close. Yeah.
He's been consistent. He plays for the Knicks. He's been good defender, good 3-and-D guy. At least he plays. I don't think he's missed a single game since his NBA career started.
He's steadily improving. It's not a crazy improvement rate, but he's steadily getting better.
Yeah. Zion seems to be going down.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap this up and move on to our NFL Pick'em and Lock segment. Be right back. Welcome back as we enter our new NFL Pick segment. So I don't want to give just a certain set of games every single week and just have us pick them and then have that be our Pick'em segment. So we're scrapping it halfway through the NFL season. Plus, I kind of lost track of the record. I'm going to try to be better about it, but it was so hard with inconsistent groups of people coming in and out each week for episodes. So I'm going to try to anchor it down a little bit. But we're going to do a favorite, an underdog, an over, and an under. Those will be your 4 picks, and then a lock, but that's going to be a completely different thing. That's going to go to the lock segment, not the pick'em segment. So you can pick a lock that's in your pick'em, but it won't count towards your pick'em. It will just count for the lock. Does that make sense? Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
Kind of.
Perfect.
Let's actually start with the underdog this week because our Spartan dogs were underdogs and won last week. So let's hit our unders first. Let me start. I feel bad because I think that the team is a significantly better team, but my underdog is going to be the Giants +3 against the Raiders. The Giants are at home. The Raiders are dealing with issues on issues. If this Henry Ruggs thing didn't happen, I would say give me the Raiders in the lock of a century as my favorite. They've had a lot of stuff going on this week. I think the Giants are one of those teams like they showed against the Chiefs that they're just scrappy. They just like compete. I like them +3. I like them in a close game. I think that the Raiders have been dealing with so much stuff. They first started with Gruden. They rattled off 2 straight wins. Now they're dealing with the Henry Ruggs thing. It's going to have to take at least at some point, like all this stuff's going to add up and just like be too much for a team to overcome.
Yeah.
So my underdog this week, I'm going with the Giants +3.
I like that. I like that pick. Like you said, Raiders could very well be in shambles with all this going on. You know, they don't really have a real head coach in the locker room to kind of navigate them through it. Their special teams coach is currently leading the team, and he's done a good job so far. But I don't know. This is a lot to handle, right? In your first few games.
Yeah.
They just got so much stuff going on coming
Yeah.
from everywhere. It's who really knows what's going to happen, honestly.
Yeah.
The Knicks are down by 2. It's all the way fucking back.
Oh no.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Knicks all the way back. All right, continue.
So back. All right. Are we done with
We're done with the
discussion.
anything else they want to hit on Giants and Raiders?
Daniel Jones looked actually really solid against the Chiefs last week. So he might be trending upwards.
I just think they have a lot of injuries. Rumor has it Saquon's probably playing in this game. He's in COVID protocol. He needs to have 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other, and he'll be allowed to play. I don't know what's going on with Kadarius Toney. He looked like he was semi-injured, but he was in and out of the other game. And I don't know. I really like the under in this game too. Don't know what the number is, but I do like the Giants defense. I think it's kind of sneaky. Okay. Especially their front 7. And I think the best way the Raiders play is running the football. It's looked really good with Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs so far this year. But yeah, I like the Giants +3. We'll end the discussion there. I like that as my underdog.
All right. I'll go next. Jets. Jets.
Whoa.
Love them +10.5 against the Colts. Love them. Got Mike White under center. Oh, he's just a beast.
That dude's electric.
He led the league in passing yards.
Did you see somebody
last
bet
week.
on him like $50 for him to be the leading passer, and it was plus like 3,000 or whatever?
No
You're getting a
way.
shitload of money on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was
That's
hysterical.
crazy. I love him in this game. I think the Colts as a team trending downwards. Carson Wentz looks like he's playing football in a circus. The dude just tries to do way too much.
They just need to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor 100 times.
Yeah,
that's all I
just
would do.
Run him every single play because Carson Wentz looks lost.
He's man in shambles 24/7. So
Yeah.
I mean, and he's only thrown 2 interceptions or 3 now. 3 interceptions the entire year, but he just makes such stupid plays. I think it's just been lucky that they haven't been turnovers.
Exactly.
And eventually that luck's going to run out. I don't hate the Jets +10 pick here. I think I took Jets +10 in my pick'em league. I don't like them to win because I do think that the Colts will control just running the ball on the Jets, but I do like them +10 because I feel like they got nothing to fucking lose.
So.
Yeah. They got that first taste of victory last week, you know. They might be back. They might be hungry dogs.
You know, they always tell you never fight the guy with nothing to lose. The Jets have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. They've already proved they can win a game this year.
What are they going to do? Be worse?
Fuck it.
It's not that much possible. So
yeah, I like them.
Okay.
My underdog of the week doesn't need a whole lot more talking about because it was also the Giants.
Okay, let's go.
I like that one a lot. I don't know. I like the Giants. I've liked them the last couple weeks in their points and the spread and stuff.
I don't like them to win. I just think they cover.
Yeah,
they might win this week.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's just Danny Dimes he's got a little sparkle in his eye right now after he's got a clock run a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Maybe they finally hit his head on right, you know, just kind of rattled the brain around a little bit.
Yeah,
it's finally working.
It was like one turn all the way around from being completely on.
Oh, no.
Somebody spun it enough.
The Knicks are now down by 7. They're not all the way back.
No.
They're all
Damn
the way gone.
Oh, God, the Knicks. All right, let's move on. My favorite this week is actually the Bengals -2.5 against the Browns, coming off of a letdown spot. Play the 4-4 Browns at home. I think the Bengals are a legit good team. I think the Browns are in shambles as well. I think the Odell Beckham Jr. stuff has been really weird. I think Baker Mayfield's been trying to play hurt recently. I know that their defense is pretty good, but I think the Bengals defense is pretty good as well. I like the Bengals -2.5 at home against the Browns, who are just missing so many of their players due to injury.
Okay.
Let's see. My favorite of the week, like it is every week, good old Dallas Cowboys against the Broncos. Dallas -10. I think Dak's probably going to be back this week. I mean, they've been insane against the spread so far this year. They've only lost like 2, maybe 3 times against the spread max. I mean,
I don't think they've lost a single time this year against the spread.
Yeah, they've been unreal this year.
I'm pretty certain they're 7-0 against the spread. Or 8-0.
That's from
Would not be surprised. Yeah,
7-0.
That's
yeah. Like even that overtime game they played, they beat the spread in the last second touchdown by CD.
Yep.
So
I had that too.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, Clayton, your favorite.
My favorite, Buffalo Bills minus 14.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do I
That's
need
a lot
to
of
explain?
points. You like
Do I need
huge.
to explain?
You like huge point spreads. You got a 10-point
I'm here for
underdog
it.
and a 14-point favorite.
What can I say? I like to throw my money in stupid places. No, I mean, can you blame me? Jacksonville sucks ass.
No, I can't blame you.
No, not
Urban Meyer's too busy cheating.
Oof.
The Bills they're playing well.
Thumbs and butts. Thumbs and butts.
Thumbs and butts. They did. Oh, they are just coming off a loss to the Titans, but the Titans, rightfully so, were playing very well during that stretch. So can't really blame them. Derrick Henry was looking like maybe the best running back of all time. Rest in peace.
Poor foot.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they run it up on the Jags. I trust Stephon Diggs, maybe a couple bombs. I don't know. We'll see.
I like it. I like
Not
it.
too much analysis here. Just knowing that the Jacksonville Jaguars are shit. And I know I will eat those words once this bet loses.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes all you need.
Okay, let's move on to the over/under segment. I'll start with my under. It's gonna surprise some people. I like the Packers and the Chiefs under 47.5. Backup quarterback for the Packers. I think their defense is sneaky good. I think they'll play the Chiefs tough. I think the Chiefs will win the football game. I think the Packers will keep it close, but I don't think the Chiefs are going to go off on this like bomb game where they win like 40-17. I think the Packers will hardly score on offense, especially if Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams are out. It'd be tough to tell. Jordan Love's first ever start. He hardly has any like playing time under his belt. The Chiefs have looked bad. I think the Packers defense is good. Under Packers Chiefs. I think Vegas wants you to take the over because 47.5 is kind of a low number. That's why I like the under.
I think that we need to stop having the same brain today because I also went with Packers Chiefs under.
What?
Yep. Yeah, I don't see like the Packers. I don't think can score with their current offense that they're going to have out there. And then so that leaves the Chiefs to score like 30, 40 points in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And they've looked like balls recently. There's no
Yeah.
chance that they score that much, I feel like. So
I like it to be like 24-10.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's easily could be the score.
Okay. I had my over as KC Green Bay, but then I forgot that Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing.
All right.
So I think I'm going to scrap that bet and go with the over in Baltimore, Minnesota at 50. I like both high-powered offenses, not awful defense, but also not outstanding. So I think it's not necessarily a shootout, but enough to get over that 50 threshold.
Okay. I might start Kirk Cousins' fantasy this week. I'm just hoping that he can drop bombs.
That would be nice. That would be nice for the over.
Would you like to give us your under? Because that's what we were talking about originally.
Oh, were we? Oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, we
were
Oh,
Matt and I were talking about under, and then you were like, that was my over pick.
Oh,
And you
okay.
transferred it to your over. So I like the pick on the Ravens and the Vikings. The Ravens are off of a bye week.
Sorry.
And I think they need a win. If they get a win, they can probably take hold of first place in the division. I like the Ravens to win the game and also put up a lot of points doing it, meaning the Vikings are going to have to throw and the Ravens don't have a great defense. So
yeah,
a lot of points. I agree.
My sticky note got all fucked up when I changed my picks. All right. My bad. Okay. My under is Dallas Denver. 49.5. Two really good defenses. Not a whole lot of offense, at least out of the Denver side. I know Dallas, they have a really good offense, but two solid defenses going up against each other. I don't see them getting to 50 in my eyes. We'll see, though. I could be mistaken.
I could easily see Dallas winning this game 28-7.
That I could see that too.
Yeah, I definitely see Dallas puts up some points, but I agree. I don't really see Denver.
And maybe it's Dak's first game back. They can run it. The Broncos just showed that they're not a buyer at the trade deadline. They're actually selling. Yeah. Maybe this means that they're trying to tank this season. Could see them easily kind of laying down and showing their bums to the Dallas Cowboys.
Especially if the Cowboys get up nice and early, first, second quarter. And then
Denver is not a team built to come back. They don't throw the ball well. I'm starting Cortland Sutton in fantasy, and I hate it. But I do like the idea that they will be down in this game and have to throw the ball quite a lot. A lot of targets for him. I'm okay with that. I'll go to my over-under. I actually have over 50, the Chargers and the Eagles.
Ooh, I was looking at that one. I
think the Eagles they put together a nice run game last week against a bad run defense in Detroit. The Chargers don't also have a bad run defense. If you can recall, when they played the Browns a couple of weeks, they kind of got ran all over. The score was super high, but then I also think the Eagles defense is bad. They just played the Lions. Could see this game being, let me go into my brain here, 31 Chargers, 27 Eagles, 8 points in the over.
I hope you're writing these down.
I am.
Yeah, mentally, he's making mental notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose the reason that we're all friends here is we have the same brains. I also went with yours, Clayton. I had Vikings and the Ravens.
Nice.
That over. Like, I think the Vikings put up a lot of points recently.
Not recently. They've been low scoring recently, which makes me like them to score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm. They'll figure out their offense sooner or later. Kirk will come through.
Captain. I also think I'm starting Kirk Cousins this week in fantasy. So
Captain anti-vax, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. You got a double ride with him.
Yeah. It seems like whenever I start him in 1 week in fantasy, then I drop him and play somebody else. He always goes off. So I'm going to ride this Kirk Cousins wave until it actually works out for me at some point.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Who
do you have behind him? Who's your other option?
My other option the other week was Ryan Tannehill. I played him against a bad defense. That didn't work. Then he went off. And then this week I played him, and then Justin Fields went off for like 28 on my bench. And I was like, what the fuck? I haven't been able to figure out my quarterback position all year.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's been tough, but I keep winning, so it works out. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Lock segment. One of my picks is actually going to be my lock. My lock will be Bengals -2.5 for the same reasons I gave earlier. Really like them. I think that they have a good offense against an injured defense, and I think they have a good defense against an injured offense. So the Bengals don't have a whole lot of injuries. I like a bounce back game for them after losing to the Jets. And I think that the Browns have been a dumpster fire recently. I think they're pretty close, a couple losses away from packing in this season and kind of wrapping it up and just saying, hey, let's get a decent draft pick. We have a good team. They're pretty young. Let's try to run it back next year. I think they're pretty close to that. The Bengals at the top of that division, tied with the Ravens. They definitely want to make the playoffs. Haven't made it in a while. Like the Bengals -2.5 bounce back game.
Nice. I like that as well. That's not my lock, but I like that.
All right, Clayton, what's your lock then?
My lock is Arizona Cardinals -1.5 against San Francisco 49ers. Ben will hate me. Ben will hate me, but Cardinals bounce back game. Just came off a tough loss to the Packers, a good Packers team at that. I think they bounce back. I haven't been super impressed with the 49ers this year. They're kind of like one of those edge teams that I don't really know what to think about. But I trust in small man Kyler Murray, phase K1.
Phase K1.
I think 1.5. I like that. Just a field goal. That's all, Mm-hmm. I don't need more.
That point is pretty much just a pick 'em game. So yeah, I like 100%. That as well.
Yeah.
My lock for the week is the New England Patriots against the Carolina Panthers. Patriots are -3.5. Sam Darnold could not be much worse currently. They have just been a dumpster fire so far the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I think the Patriots last couple weeks have actually looked really good. So hopefully they can keep that rolling. I think they will. I think they come in and they just destroy the Panthers.
Yeah. Patriots, I think they've been trending upwards for sure past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I definitely think the Panthers have a really good defense, but their offense has been atrocious. So I do like it. I think Christian McCaffrey's coming back in this game though, which is tough, which means it's a whole different Panthers team. So that might be a little difficult, but yeah, Panthers definitely have been struggling, at least offensively. Their defenses looked awesome. They just added Stephon Gilmore to that defense. The defense looks good. So I kind of like that game as an under too. Don't know what the number is, but just
Patriots have a good defense too, but
they do.
Christian McCaffrey's a god. So like,
I mean, yeah,
you
he's
can only hope to contain him.
Or just wait for him to have another hamstring injury, because another one of those is always around the corner, like every couple of weeks. So.
Just lurking.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, good job, everybody. Any fun weekend plans this weekend? Anybody?
I am dog sitting this weekend.
That sounds ecstatic.
Me and incredibly itchy Miss Gluten Allergy Pearl is just gonna scratch herself all weekend.
Nice. Sounds like a great time.
It's gonna be amazing.
Matt mentioned maybe having people over at his place Saturday, so that might be an option.
You would like to come scratch Pearl.
Maybe we'll go over there, watch a football game. Other than that, I'm kind of looking forward to just like a chill weekend after
That's
last
what I'm
weekend.
doing, dude.
Yeah.
I might not even
just relaxing.
I don't want to say it out loud, but I might not even drink this weekend.
Heresy. You
know,
wait till 3:30 comes around on Saturday, and I guarantee you I'm drinking.
Wait till 3:04, or wait, what time do they kick off? Like 3:05?
They're 3:30.
3:30? Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. As soon as they lose the coin toss, Jake's cracking one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the new Marvel Eternals movie tomorrow. I'm excited, and the 5th season of Big Mouth comes out on Friday, so I'll be watching that Saturday as well.
God, about
Really?
Yeah,
I
new season of Big Mouth.
I didn't know that.
Yep, 5th season. Excited. One of my favorite TV shows, so can't wait to watch that.
So good.
All
Binge
right.
it all day.
Good job on our picks, everybody. Take our picks, don't take our picks. Who cares? As far as lock segment, I'm 1-4, not good. Matt is 3-1-1. That's pretty good. And Clayton 2-2. So don't take my picks and take their picks.
We're breaking even.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, thank you boys for joining us. Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a pleasure.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows,
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
but it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.